This is the Evil Never Dies podcast with Brett and Carl. This podcast may contain adult themes, violence, and strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
What's up, evil ones? Welcome back to the Evil Never Dies podcast. I'm Brett here with Carl, and we're trying to get this episode done before it starts fucking storming.
We're always having storms, it seems like, in Texas, aren't we?
Yeah, I know.
And it always screws our shit up.
But I looked at the Doppler, and it looks like the worst parts of it are going to go like split right when it gets to Fort Worth. So we might luck out. I don't know.
I don't care. I just soon it rain anyway.
But north and south of us is going to be fucked.
It was supposed to be Scarlett's birthday party today, but apparently that never happened, or I wasn't invited one. It was going to be in the haunted house, and I never heard anything from Michaela for a week about it, so I'm assuming it either got canceled or moved.
Oh, no shit. They didn't have a party for her last weekend?
Well, I had one for her, basically, you know.
Okay.
But she was going to have one for her friends, and she wanted to have it at the haunted house, so.
Oh, really?
She's kind of stuck out now because next weekend's Texas Frightmare weekend, and the weekend after that, we're going to Galveston.
Oh, that's right. You're going to be gone.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Well, we're doing the what do we call it? Evil Talk Live on the 30th, you said, or something.
Yeah, that's right. You're leaving that next Monday, ain't you?
Yeah, we're leaving Sunday, I think.
Sunday.
So I'll be around for Evil Talk.
Okay, cool.
So I didn't get a lot of negative feedback on the Carrie movie, but we didn't get anybody watching it either. So
no, we didn't.
Maybe that movie's not as popular as I thought it was, because
I guess not.
I felt bad because I that was one of the first movies we've done. I just sort of felt lost and didn't really know what to say. Usually I have a lot to say. I got a lot to say tonight.
Got a lot to say tonight?
I might.
Okay. All right.
In the midst of making haunted house logos from ChatGPT.
That one's the best one, though.
And it was the first one they made. Well, the second one, the one you like, the blood splatter. I need to fucking put that on TeePublic and see what it looks like. Maybe.
Yeah. Send it to me. I'll put it on there.
Well, you already got it. You want me to send it again?
No, that's right. That's right.
You got the first two, the first one, and then the blood splatter one. We'll see what they look. Put them both on there. Maybe see which one looks better.
Yeah, I can thinking about taking a couple of them we got on there off of there.
Yeah, I think some of them Karabi went off. That one with the long mansion, the original logo, that one can go. I don't think that one looked like crap because you got to have them things transparent or they don't look right.
Yeah. If you got that black square.
The black square ruins everything. It makes it look cheap.
And I got a thing I can use to remove the backgrounds on everything. So
yeah. So tonight I went through a pile of movies that I told Brett was some of my more obscure movies, and I let him pick, and he picked
Beyond the Door from 1974. Actually, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I've seen that. It was on Shudder a few years ago because me and Jerry Pauly were messaging back and forth, and he's like, hey, have you ever seen a movie called Beyond the Door? And I'm like, I don't know if I have or not. And he said, well, it's on Shudder, check it out. So I did, and didn't really think much of it back then. I just watched it once. And,
yeah.
Just a possession movie, let's say.
Yeah, and that's sort of what I thought. I'd seen it before, but apparently I haven't. I think I bought this thing at Frightmare Weekend last year. Remember,
really?
Arrow was there, and I bought like a whole pile of movies from them.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I think you told me, oh yeah, that's an Exorcist movie, so pick it up. And you said there's only 3,000 of them in print, so we got a rarity here.
Yeah, you got a rarity. So
But I thought I'd seen it too. But what did Jerry say about it? I'm curious.
he just basically said about the same thing, it's a possession movie or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
I think he said I might have it confused with The Beyond, which is a
Fulci movie.
Fulci movie. Yeah.
So, so yeah, we're going to be discussing and reviewing Beyond the Door.
A pretty obscure movie. Yes.
It's an Italian American movie. In Italy, it's called Ci Sei, which means "Who are you?"
It's also known by the title of The Devil Within Her, which is
Okay.
actually the copy I got here.
Okay.
It says Beyond the Door on the Blu-ray, but it's actually the version called The Devil Within Her, which is a lot better name, I believe, for the movie.
Exactly.
I think they should have kept that title.
All right. Well, since this is Italian, I'm gonna go ahead and fuck up all these names right off the bat.
Well, the director has a pseudonym if you want to use it.
O. Hellman.
Yeah.
But his real name is Ovidio G. Asinitis.
Oviedo.
So, yeah.
We'll call him O. Hellman.
And co-directed by Roberto Piazzoli,
who also had a pseudonym. He said
R. Barrett.
They said that the English pseudonym names were popular at that point for the Italian director, so they both came up with one.
It was written by Ovidio and Antonio Tricio, Roberto Piazzoli, Giorgio Marini, Aldo Crudo, Alex Rabar, and Christopher Cruz. It was produced by Ovidio and Enzo Doria and Edward L. Montoro. Cinematography by Roberto Piazzoli. Music by Franco Michalizzi. And I looked up the soundtrack.
Did you look it up?
Yeah. You can't find it under Beyond the Door, though. It's under that Ci Sei. You have to look it up as that. And not a big fan of this.
I'm not a big fan of it either, but
it's jazz music is what it is.
Yeah, but he sort of played it into the movie.
Yeah, but
the one character is like a movie music producer, and he's producing this jazz band that's playing and he's there recording them as the movie starts. So that's sort of creative, I think.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And old Heldman, wasn't that his name? He said that he did not want your typical horror movie soundtrack. That's why he went in this direction. So give him an A for effort for trying to do something
on
different.
The trailer, they do like a fucked up version of the Tubular Bells.
Oh, Lord.
It's like backwards. Like, it's weird. Sort of cool, but weird, All right. Distributed by Variety Distribution. Production companies are A Era Cinematográfica and Montoro Productions Limited. Release dates November 21st, 1974 in Italy. And then it didn't come out in the U.S. until May 2nd of 1975. And it was released in Houston, Texas, of all places.
Interesting.
Running time of 97 minutes. And I think the version you got is 111 minutes.
I believe so.
There's a couple of different versions. Countries, like I said, are Italy and the United States. Guess how much the budget was on this?
It was very low.
$350,000.
And he made a lot of money with this movie.
15 million worldwide.
Yes.
And 7.1 million just in the United States.
Yes, this was a massive hit.
Yes, it was. And we'll get into why.
We'll get into why here in a bit.
When I do some trivia, yeah.
What happened from that too? There ended up being a lawsuit. Yeah.
Yes, there was. So
I was listening to him talk about it no more than an hour ago.
All right, Carl, go over the plot, buddy. Let's hear it.
This plot is hard to fathom, man. There's a lady walking around with her little demon kids, and I mean, they really are demons. They're like
They're
cussing,
asshole
and
kids.
they're little asshole kids. So, and again, the husband is like a mutant. I keep on saying movie. Like a, what did we used to call a movie producer, music producer.
Yeah.
So he's recording this jazz band, and they're basically driving in their car with these little asshole kids. And this is a hard movie to understand. It starts out, you've got this weird dude who's like making a pact with the devil, I guess, and they're gonna birth out the devil himself, apparently. Is that the
Yeah.
gist you got of it?
Yeah, the lead female in this, she's pregnant with her third child.
Third child,
So,
but it's turns out it's the devil she's pregnant with. But there is no priest, there is no exorcisms in this, so
no.
it's really hard to explain this movie without watching it. But it is a possession movie. But she's more possessed by the spawn of the devil than she is possessed herself, is the way I would explain it.
Yeah.
The baby slash demon growing inside of her has possession of her.
Yeah.
She's not possessed by a demon herself. And this weird dude's trying to birth out the child, and it just goes whack. Very whack movie. Didn't understand them little kids. That was weird.
They were stupid kids.
Well, they get their asses kicked as the movie goes along. They
Yeah,
get a
they
little bit of
do.
a,
What
maybe
was up
that's
with, what was up with the little boy drinking fucking had a can of Campbell's tomato soup with
Yeah.
a straw in it? What the fuck?
Yeah. And the little girl's carrying all these books around with her.
And they're all the same book.
Same books. So the plot is hard to explain. I just gave it. It's a possession movie, but they're trying to birth out the devil. So it's a little bit of Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, and maybe even a little bit of The Omen.
Possible, yeah.
This movie came out before some of those, did it not?
Yep, except The Exorcists.
Except The Exorcist. And there's a story behind this too, which we'll get into momentarily.
Yep. All righty. Let's go over the cast.
Let's do the cast, then we'll check out this Blu-ray.
All right. We got Juliette Mills as Jessica Barrett.
Didn't you say she was a Disney lady?
No, she was. Remember Nanny and the Professor? She was the nanny and Nanny and the Professor.
I have no idea what that is.
Cute blonde English chick. Next off, we got Gabriele Lavia as Robert Barrett. He's the husband.
Weird dude.
Yeah, he was like a big star over in Italy for some reason.
Yeah. But just sort of played a weird character in general.
Played in a bunch of Fulci movies and played in a bunch of what's his name's movies too.
Argento?
Yeah, Argento films.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy's definitely a contemporary of those two.
All right, next off we got Richard Johnson as Dimitri.
That's the
other weird guy that
the devil possessor guy.
Yeah, that says that the baby has to live.
It has to live. Push that baby out.
Next off, we got Nino Segurini as Dr. George Staten. Elizabeth Turner as Barbara State. Barbara Fiorini as Gail Barrett. I think that's the young daughter. Carla Mancini as Mrs. Francis.
Did you notice those kids were dubbed really weirdly too?
Yeah, they were like
they weren't even talking, and their mouths were not moving, but they were talking. So
yeah,
I guess that was just the dubbing.
David Collin Jr. as Ken Barrett. That was the little son.
The Campbell's soup drinker.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I ain't never seen nobody drink Campbell's soup with a straw, dude.
Maybe it was tomato soup. I don't remember.
I don't know. Jonathan T. Tran is Dr. Tran. And Edward L. Montoro as the devil voice.
Now, there was this weird scene where they superimprinted some dude's face over a naked girl.
Yeah, that maybe
I didn't
that's
understand that
I
part
don't think
either.
I've seen that part. That must be on your
It
version.
must be on mine, but it not only is it on mine, it's also on the menu. So when the menu goes, it shows this like over and over again.
That's weird. That's
Very
weird as
weird.
shit. So, all right, go over the Blu-ray, brother.
All right, this is an Arrow release. We one of our good companies here. When did I don't know when they released this thing. You got any info when it came out?
Think 2020.
Okay. So, like I said, I'm pretty sure I pulled this up with a bundle at Texas Frightmare Weekend from the Arrow booth, and I think they had a deal like you could buy 5 for something. I don't know, but this is an uncut version of the movie, and it's a 2K restoration, and it looks really good. It's still got a little bit of the grain from the being an older movie, but it looks really good. They did a good job with it. The extras are very impressive. Like I said, the highlighted is the Oviedo, we'll just call him Hellman. They did a commentary. Uh, Actually, it was an interview. It wasn't a commentary. And he talks for about 30 minutes about this movie and gives all kinds of insight. Very impressed. And it's all in English. He's very fluent in English.
Cool.
And
so you didn't have to read it.
now his buddy he was speaking in Italian, but I was actually watching that when we got on here, so I was reading his stuff as I went along. There's an interview with the composer, and they talk a little bit about that jazzy soundtrack and the fact they were trying to do something different and not make it your typical horror soundtrack. I don't know that they succeeded, but they did do something different, so I give them effort for that. There's 2 commentary tracks over the movie. There's an interview with the camera operator even.
Really?
And I didn't get to it, but there's a feature called Beyond the Door 35 years later. But I ran out of time before I could watch all this stuff. And the Blu-ray comes with a reversible sleeve, as Arrow always does. They made their own artwork, which I didn't like at all. I changed to I guess that's the original poster. Yeah. So I'm gonna give this Blu-ray an A. It's a great Blu-ray. They put a lot of work into an obscure movie that's described by Roger Ebert as disgusting and trash and maddeningly inappropriate. And yeah. So Arrow really, really did a good job with this one. So thumbs up to them.
I may have seen this back in the day.
And this is an ABC. This is region free as well. So if you can find it, you can watch it anywhere.
Well,
you may have seen it.
I may have seen
it. I
thought
I'd seen it, but I don't remember ever seeing it.
When it first came out, I may have. I don't know.
I think like I said, I confused it with another. I always knew there was the so-called rip-off of The Exorcist, and I'm pretty sure I saw it. But I don't remember this movie, so maybe the version I saw was so cut that it doesn't even resemble this product. I don't know.
Well, maybe the Arrow will be at Texas Frightmare next weekend.
Yeah.
We can talk to them guys. Maybe they'll have another copy. If they have another copy, I'll buy it.
There you go.
Just to have. So an A for the Blu-ray. Okay.
Yeah, they did a great job with it. That's a plug, Arrow. Give us a sponsorship.
Well, we sat there and talked to them guys last year
we did
for a little bit.
I think they actually gave me a little bit of a deal on all the movies I bought. Yep. I'm gonna say that now, so maybe they'll do it next week.
Oh shit! All right, I guess we'll go over some trivia.
Yeah, I'd like to hear what trivia you got, because I got a little bit that I saw from the interview, so we'll see if we mesh up on these.
Okay, first off, Warner Brothers sued the production company behind the Beyond Door.
Yes, that's the biggie. That's the big thing about this movie. This is supposedly a complete ripoff of The Exorcist, and Warner Brothers sued them.
Yep.
Now, in my opinion, this is not a complete ripoff of The Exorcist. And the interesting thing is, they didn't sue him for the story. They sued him for the visual effects.
Yep, copyright.
Copyrighted effects. That's what the lawsuit was about.
Yeah.
Not the story.
Well, the only thing I seen really in common special effects wise was the fucking green puke.
Yeah, but the green puke looked a lot better in this.
It looked like chewed up fucking what do you call it? Uh seaweed or something,
Yeah,
man.
it
It
was
was
gross as fuck, and then she took it and threw it at people. It was a lot more graphic than The Exorcist, and I mean, I guess I don't know. I just don't see that it's lawsuit worthy at all. I
yeah.
mean, this Flathead Frankenstein, they've been suing people for years over that. So I guess Linda
Yeah.
Blair's appearance can be sued according to what happened.
Yes, so.
What else you got on the lawsuit?
Well, they finally settled in 1979, so they fought over that shit for years.
Well, Oviedo or whatever his name is, he said that the lawsuit got settled. Basically, the Warner executive or lawyer told him that they didn't want him to make a sequel. And he's like, I won't make a sequel. And he said, well, I want you to get me some Italian ice cream. And he said, okay, we'll do that. And the lawsuit ended. And he said, him and that guy ended up becoming best friends, and they're still friends to this day.
Oh, no shit. So they didn't end up having to pay nothing out.
He didn't have to pay anything out. But he said it cost him like
Lawyers' fees.
$800,000 in legal fees to get to that point.
Yeah.
So he said it cost him a lot of money to get, but nothing.
800,000 and some fucking ice cream.
Some ice cream. But he said he did, it's just in fees, but he didn't actually have to pay Warner anything.
Well,
I guess they were worried that, he made this low budget movie that was definitely not on par, but, equal to The Exorcist in many ways. And that he was going to make a sequel that was going to, and remember how shitty The Exorcist 2 got reviewed. They thought he was going to kind of knock him out of the park with that. So that was their big concern, I think.
Yeah.
And they fucked up The Exorcist 2, and it didn't make any money anyway. But all those years, yeah, that stayed in limbo, basically to keep the guy from making a sequel. So that's the lawsuit.
All righty.
He lost the legal fees, but they got some ice cream and everybody was happy. And I guess it ended up giving him more work later down the road too.
Yeah.
He's made some pretty big movies. He was, like a producer on and stuff.
All right. Excuse me. To drum up publicity for the film, the director hired actors to faint in theaters that showed the film, and also had ambulances parked outside the theaters.
That's some good 1950s publicity stunts. I like it.
Yep. It worked, becoming a runaway hit in its native country. So it made just as much in Italy as it did here, So.
It did.
Juliet Mills said she hated wearing the special prosthetic possession makeup because it took a couple hours to put on and then another hour to take it off. They also had to take it off very slowly or it would rip her skin off.
Yeah, you could tell it looked pretty intense.
During a 2005 interview, Juliet Mills said the producers offered her a choice of either points in the movie or her salary. Her agents at the time, William Morris, said, nope, get your money up front. You might never see the money with these Italians.
Oh, Lord. She could have made a killing if she
so she took the salary.
She should have took the points.
Should have took the points. So
big mistake there.
She fucked up. Mario Bava's Shock from 1977 was released in the U.S. as Beyond the Door 2, but had nothing to do with this film and was so named to cash in on the success of the original. The same is true of Beyond the Door 3 from 1989.
Yeah, none of them were real sequels, and he wasn't involved in them. Oviedo, or however we're saying his name.
Juliet Mills had started learning Italian when she made Avanti in 1972 with Billy Wilder in Italy, so she made a point of keeping up with the language by speaking with the cast and crew in their native tongue on set. Okay. Her, it sort of looked like her voice was dubbed too, in a way.
It did a little bit.
Let's see here. Juliet Mills talked in the same interview. I just got a call from my agent that they were making this film in San Francisco and in Rome. I had made a previous film in Rome with Jack Lemmon, and I love working in Italy, so it really came through with my agent. I read the script and I thought that this sounds like fun. I never done one of these sort of movies. And that was it. And of course, The Exorcist had come out a year or so earlier, and I'd seen that. So these kinds of films are popular, and why not? It was a fun film to make. Two great locations, San Francisco and Rome. So she evidently liked being in the movie.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
Oliver Hellman, like we said, was originally credited as the movie's director.
Oliver Hellman.
It was only after the film became a big success that producer Ovidio Assanitis, I just say it, revealed that he had directed the film. According to the biography of James Cameron, Assanitis was contractually obliged to appoint a North American as director, whom he would declare incompetent after a few days in order to take over the direction himself. He allegedly repeated the same trick on Madhouse 1981 and infamously on Cameron's debut Piranha 2: The Spawning from 1982.
You ever seen that Madhouse?
Madhouse.
It sounds very familiar to me.
Yeah,
but I think I'm thinking of a Vincent Price movie from the 60s.
Let me look it up here real quick and see what it is.
While you do that, I'll give a story about Oviedo here. He said that how this whole came about, he was on a plane and he was reading William Peter Blatty's The Exorcist novel. And he was impressed with the novel, and he got with his people and said, hey, I want to make a movie out of this. And they're like, well, you're too late. Warner's already bought the rights to it. So he said that he decided he would write his own, possession movie, and that's how this all came about. So he totally admits that The Exorcist influenced him, but he said it wasn't the film, it was the novel. So I found that interesting.
Well, that's cool.
So what you find on Madhouse?
The Madhouse, it's about a woman is pursued by her murderous psychopathic twin sister in the days leading up to her birthday.
I may have to look into that one because I think I might want to check it out.
Looks like it's
I'm
got
thinking of
cool
Madhouse with
people in
Vincent
it.
Price. I think it had Peter Cushing in it as well. We're going to get to those movies eventually.
Yeah. All right. Let me get back to where
We
I
can do this
was
show
there.
for 10 years and not run out of movies.
Nope. Let's see here. It's almost about Juliet Mills. Let's see here. Like we said, exterior shots were all done in San Francisco, and all the interior shots were done on the sound stage in Italy. Let's see here. First assistant director Peter Shepard brought Juliet Mills onto the project, having previously worked with her on Avanti, and the director had actually had Samantha Edgar in the mind for the lead role. I don't even know who the hell that is. Amy Grant auditioned for the lead.
Amy Grant, isn't that
Isn't she a pop singer?
she's like
She was probably 2 when this came
out. Like a religious pop singer.
I don't think it's the same Amy Grant.
It couldn't be, no. She did that song Baby Baby. There's you some trivia. And it pissed a lot of her church fans off.
In 1975, Beyond the Door made more money at the box office in New York than any other film except Jaws.
Wow.
1975. And it's the 50th year anniversary this year for Jaws too. We're gonna have to cover it for sure.
We will.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Jowls.
So that's about all I got for trivia.
Yeah, there's probably not a lot since this is pretty obscure. I guess it wasn't obscure when it was released. It made a lot of money, so
Yep,
I
yep,
think the lawsuit may have buried it for years.
yep, exactly.
But
Because
my take on it,
I don't even remember seeing this come out on VHS. It didn't come out on DVD, I don't think, until
no,
early 2000s. So it wasn't around.
no.
So
Yeah, I think that lawsuit was bullshit. I just don't. There's been a lot more movies that have ripped other movies off than this. The
oh, for
story,
sure.
the story doesn't even follow The Exorcist in the least. And I do admit the makeup is similar, but you know what? Who gives a shit?
I think the Exorcist makeup was better.
Well, of course he had. What was his budget?
Yeah, 350,000.
Yeah, I think his makeup was actually more graphic.
Yeah, a
So
little bit. Yep. So, all right, you want me to go first?
I'll go first
All right, you go first.
because I already know that I think I like this a bit better than you did. Where he failed was the script. It's a very weak script, and it's hard to follow, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and he doesn't really explain much, and that does hurt the movie a lot. I still don't know what the ending meant. I guess that the spawn had been born. I have no clue. It's hard to follow, and I've watched it twice. Um, but I'm gonna say it's not a bad movie. It's sort of fun to watch in a funny sort of way. It just don't have a story. That's the problem with it. The acting is done pretty well, except for the weird dubbing and those little weird kids that are cussing all the time. But they get theirs back. They get their little butts beat. I really like this director. I enjoyed watching the interview with him. Seemed like a real cool dude. Um, this is by no means a good movie, like I said, but you know, is a low budget movie that made some money. I would recommend if you can find this thing, give it a watch. See what it's like. You know, it's just a different take on possession movies before they became the popular thing to do, which in the 2010s, that's all we got was possession movies.
Let me see if it's on Amazon here.
I bet it is.
The door. Let's see here. Yeah, $25.99 for the Blu-ray, and it's only $6.33 for the DVD. Shit.
There you go. But you said, but are you a big enough fan to buy this thing?
Uh,
You didn't seem to like it at all, Brett. Let's just be honest.
are you done?
No, I haven't gave my grade yet. I'm gonna move to you though.
Okay. Well, I do think it is ripped off The Exorcist a little bit more than you do, probably.
Well, he did say he read the novel, so he admits that.
Yeah, but just too many similarities for just reading the novel, I think.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I just don't see the similarities.
Yeah,
The visuals, yes, but the storyline is nothing.
yeah, the storyline, yeah, but the visuals for sure are, I think, a direct rip off of The Exorcist, you know. So,
Well, the Warner won some ice cream out of it.
but as far as the directing goes and like the cinematography and stuff was good.
It's good, yeah.
The acting, I don't know. I can take it or leave it, I guess.
It's typical Italian horror movie acting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
But
husband was really creepy, and the other dude was even creepier. They did good jobs. So yeah, the acting's not terrible for what you're dealing with.
the kids,
The
one a big
kids were stupid. Yeah,
that was that was, that was really
I know
fucking dumb.
you hated the music.
And the music, oh my God. 70s jazz, dude. I like jazz music, but not like that. I don't think it fit the movie. You
Well,
know?
he said he was doing something different, so you know.
Mhm.
Don't think he succeeded with
He did
that.
it. He did it wrong. So yeah, I was listening to it on Apple, and I was like,
Fuck this, huh?
"Fuck this shit." Played like 2 seconds of each track, and it's like, what the fuck? Because you can't really notice it that much during the movie, except for the parts where like people are playing, like they had the street performers playing one
Yeah.
of the song.
Now that was a weird part. Yeah, the street
Yeah,
performer. I thought that was dumb.
yeah, that was where they're all.
That took away from the movie a lot for
Yeah, it
me.
did. And it was a long scene
And it
too.
was a long scene.
And then you had the Dimitri like following on the other side of the street. It's like
Almost felt sort of racist to me the way they were doing it.
a little
But
bit.
I mean, the dude's an Italian. I'm sure he don't know what the fuck he's doing with that.
But yeah, just because of how popular this is probably the only reason why I would,
Popular but obscure.
and it's obscure. I watched it on some, I don't even remember where the fuck I watched it at. It wasn't Tubi, it was some off the wall app on there,
Yeah.
and it looked like shit, dude. The 4.3 letterbox, and
Oh yeah, this looked great on the
it was
great.
awful. So, I guess I'll go ahead and rate it. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of
I'm gonna
5.
give it a 2.75. It's
Okay.
not a 3, but I don't think it's a 2. It's sort of floating in the middle somewhere.
You know,
Honestly,
I
I
think
enjoyed watching this better than I did Carrie.
honestly, I think with $350,000, I think we could make a better movie.
Well, it was 1970 something too. It's
I'm just,
2025 now, so
I'm
it's
just
hard to
saying.
compare.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying I enjoyed watching this more than Carrie, I think.
Oh, okay.
I would watch this over Carrie again.
Oh shit. But
I'm
I
gonna
would.
go watch that remake of Carrie soon.
Which one? There's two of them.
The first one they did.
Oh, okay.
Not the sequel, but the actual remake.
Yeah. Okay.
So
But
you give it a 2. I'm surprised you got that high on it.
just the practical effects were
They
okay.
were good.
Nothing special. About the same as everything else about that time.
Yeah.
So.
But I'd recommend watching this one.
Oh yeah,
If you're curious into the possession genre or Exorcist fan or any of that stuff, yeah, or Italian horror, it definitely is that.
Yep,
It
for
follows,
sure.
we've been doing a lot of Italian horror movies this year, so we're probably going to continue to do more. We're going to get those going. So
Yep.
I recommend this movie. Just don't expect much with the storyline because there is not much.
It's pretty dumb in some spots.
It is. It's hard to follow. I'm gonna go back and watch it with the audio commentary on it. It's a film historian's gonna talk about it.
All righty, I guess that's all we got for Beyond the Door,
Also known as The Devil Within. Her.
and also known as, what the hell was it called?
Abucha or something.
She say,
He say.
who are you? Well, that's what she kept saying through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Who are you?
That was a good impression of that.
Sound just like her. All right, everybody, that's all we got for this week. If anybody in North Texas listens to us and you're gonna be at Texas Frightmare Weekend, we'll be walking around, checking shit out, doing a lot of videoing and handing out stickers and talking to people. So look us up if you're gonna be there for
I'll
sure.
be there Saturday and probably Friday night, depending on if I ever leave work. But not Sunday. Sunday's a holiday.
Well, Friday we can stay late. I think they got some movie screenings.
Oh, do they?
We can watch, yeah. So.
Well, Sunday is somebody's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about that either. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching, listening. Check us out on all the social medias. Join the group.
Give us likes on our videos on Facebook because some of the people I watch always say to do that. So do that.
Yeah, like our
Not
video.
Facebook, YouTube.
YouTube,
I
yeah.
can't even talk. And we don't know what's coming out next week for a show. You're probably going to get a Black Sabbath album.
Sure, give it away.
I didn't say which one.
Didn't say which one. All right, everybody. We will talk to you next week. We'll be out and about.
We may do some lives from the convention.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to do some lives for sure. So
you'll get some lives and probably a Black Sabbath album. So there you go.
Hit that subscribe and turn on them notifications so you know when we're going to be on. You never know. So
and that's it.
Everybody. That's it. Stayevil,
where demonic possession lives and evil penetrates the soul. Step inside if you dare.
Who are you?
Jessica has gone beyond the door. At first, she didn't believe, but she does now.
George, you can help me, George. Take me away from here. Remember Jessica, how beautiful she was.
Sensitive, like a child.
This is my child, mine, do you hear? I'll never let you kill it. It will be born. I'll kill anyone who tries to take him from me. I'll kill you! I'll kill you! Mommy! Mommy!
Inside her, a new life is struggling desperately to compel itself into existence.
Just as I thought. I knew it.
Is that all you're going to do to help me?
Biological absurdity. That the development of the fetus is proceeding with absolutely incredible speed.
Papa, don't leave Ken and me alone again with Mommy.
You can't stand the thought of there existing beings so powerful and strong as to break through.
No one must attempt to interfere with her pregnancy, you understand? The child must be born.
Beyond the door, where demonic possession lives and grows and grows and... Beyond the door, we dare you not to believe.